This network sa gilkhom na anavezaw si amasan si bay kahin bolove. Kay mga kahila kim saradaw ngel kahiin. Tuni khuahi District Legal Services Authority Churachandpur to agunan nuile. Manipur State Legal Services Authority sponsor na nuya. POCSO ACT chungchanga panel discussion ihinay dingo ahiin. Hija hito akilho na POCSO ACT kiti ipihia ipilam panga kimang hamti anangay khwa mo hiti. Tuni khwa POCSO ACT thua ikiholim pidingo ahile. Hiji aning langa to hi Sar N Kirtichan Singh Chairman DLS Churachandpur ahiin. Abana Sar Solomon Mate Chailan Churachandpur ahiin. Abana ka komak to hi ahile. Hasbi Hokip Additional SP IUC AW Churachandpur ahiin. Tunya Teaching Network Study limkhom thedi nga zi event nang ho chung na bon chaw chunga kipathu kahin phungi. Welcome to the show. Ke ho limna achun anakipan paijing taw hitin tun ama sapianin POCSO ACT chung chang sei khom ding hinawa. Sir Solomon Mate hinga question hindong katin. POCSO ACT kitihi ipihia chule hichin ahup la chu hichin ahop nala at sapang hiko hi na dile what is POCSO and who is a child?
POCSO ititing lahin na protection of children from sexual offense ahin. Ititing la sapang kitihi koya mitiale sapang kitihi any person who has not completed the age of 18. Chichu sapang mihim kumsom le kumge thingnai law yo si sapang kitihi. So palechi section here 2012-2015 in bana hichi POCSO ACT Juvenile Justice Act JJ Act no ya children in need of care and protection here.
POCSO ACT ipihia hilole hichi in ahup chapang chokoy hiam ti chu hetawin tun abanin Madam Hasbi Hokip Additional SP IUC AW Churachandpur hinga question na banan dong kilo hitin hiji POCSO ACT to Sir Solomon ase banga chuna chi medical examination hi ngai kho am
POCSO ACT nuya offenses hi azat zat na hinna penetrative sexual assault omenna penetrative sexual assault itile a meaning chun a born in hetaven ale khuchti lawa jong sexual penetrative lawa sexual assault kiti jong men penetrative itile apusalin anumai elole anumai na pusal hina chu susit tina hitai na completely susit hitai sexual assault bawa hung kiti ting le for example lunggel phalau ta chapang aga akhoi na aga azut ai lola aga acho di ho na ai piham chapangin i chi hi achi bele ai su si thai he na ka hi na su si thai he ti ai wanga susiman nai lo acho bhoti vel hi cho jong khu punishment khada hin na chi sexual assault ho hi chi point hi kan koina i piham tila penetrative sexual assault chapang cha ki su si momong ting le chun na case hong ki bol ting le nu le pa te koma medical examination bolding itile na ada pove na a hiding mong he case dinga ichi chu omlo le chun iti approve du ham na ka chanu asi sia ka cha pa su sia ti chu e hon iti approve du ham medical to strong evidence hin na a hiya chu ka sei banga chu chapang acho a khot a hilo ta zu ai lo le chapang cha koya chapang chu jam do man cho na chi hoting le nu le pa ho hin case and report in hiwang medical examination ding iti le anum po win na ahi wanga chu alo dung zu ya chu medical examination chu compulsory hin na section 27 of the POCSO ACT nu ya chu numei medical officer lady medical officer in hi chi chapang numei hita ta pusal hita ta general neutral hai na hi chi POCSO ACT chapang hita chapang chu anu ham apa ham ahi lo le chapang in ata san pen na no ya to medical examination a bolding hin na azole section 357 of CRPC to rule 5 of POCSO in zong compulsory hospital a chapang chu POCSO ai lo sexual offense a ki puile sexual offense ama chunga a ki bole ta ipuile doctor hospital ho chun medical examination a bolte te du hai na medical examination is very important document evidence hin sei beleng adi di a sexual assault chapang cho ai lo le ga ko ya chapang exam do man ho di hinge anum mai hina pusal hina hilang chu doctor in zong examination nu la patian hi cha ki bolting le ka chanu ka chapa di de chanu ho na amin si ve chanu ho na e khunung le min akichen pi dham ki chen pi lo de heten a hi wang ya ita cho pho mai hi zong le doctor kha in a statement azi na ai lo le hi titin ei boli hi tin azi in ta doctor khan in azi ya chapang in doctor khat ko ma sei chu evidence lin ta he na ita asu sit na lang chu om lo ta jong le doctor in azi la mai jong chu ei hodinga evidence lin ta he na chi za chu medical examination ding hin da zui pote asu sit ti lo wa jong a chop ho mai hi jong le da pote na the medical exam medical officer chu independent a hin na ma chu khatlang site nei lo hi za chu na ei hodinga evidence lin ta chi za chu medical examination ni compulsory jong hin azo le da jong da pote
ki pa min medical examination cho bolte te angai dan ho jong heta vidna abana circuit dancing na dong kit hitin POCSO Act 2012 kiti hi aphat angai kho dan in saying sir please elaborate the importance of POCSO Act 2012.
Thank you, Sarah. Basically this POCSO Act came later stage of 2012 because the act itself was the requirement of the child protection. Child, we say that the child is under the 18 years is very vulnerable in the society, and just because we have seen lots of crimes and rape cases are very high in India, and even in Chusampur district also, and the whole of Manipur. And likewise, this act could be has done in 1992 itself when the child protection came up in the UN or in other platform. But however, it could be done up only when the Indian Penal Code rape cases of the 376 has been amended. When the Nirbhaya case in Delhi, it came later on. They said what is the requirement of the child protection, and that, like I said, that this 2012 POCSO Act has come into picture, and then the enactment in the legislature, and it intended the protection should be child, irrespective that the Indian Penal Code is giving a punishment. However, this act is itself is the speciality regarding the protection of child, which are very vulnerable in the society, like I said, and when it is cannot be turned up. For example, just yesterday on 23rd February, the Punjaban High Court has given a death sentence to one of the perpetrator who the person just took the child and raped her just near the jugi of the person staying on the neighborhood of the family. And while doing that, the ghastly act that in a barbaric manner he inserted the wooden stick into the vagina. So that is the harsh case, and that is the rarest of the rare case that why this act is required. And Punjab and Haryana court has rightly given a death sentence to the Mukesh, the 27 years old perpetrator who is accused in the case, and that is why the POCSO Act came. And it is the section that itself says that when the act is on also in the process that it should be strict nature of punishment should be given. Thank you.
POCSO Act chung chang ipihia ahilole angai kho na ho cho in hetawin abana ana chati hitin question abana hin Sir Solomon mate adin question khan dong ki hitin what is child sexual abuse ahilawa hele hiji CSA zong kitina hiji salient features also ipp ham in sele chung ki pamti
child sexual abuse ting lehin na numai chapang koi mi pasal te tawte ai lo mi pa ai lo gul lang han lang ho kum som lege chung lang hon na ata sa ngai cha na ding ata sa ngai cha na su bulut na ding ai lo le ga khoi ga mai zap ti ho vel na ai lo le heta gapong cho ja lai madam has been outside time ito hu hi in child sexual abuse te ka ba nga cho abusive I kampau azong ai lo le verbally ai lo le na ora I khat chi ang ho ga thampi ai le azun than ho vel ga khoi ai lo le anung lang ho vel ga tham hi chong hi abusive hi na child sexual abuse hi in so ting le pasal hita ta inaute hita ta mi nu mi pa mi pange jong acha hi nu mai hi tham mo tham thelo hi a o ma pa na hi akong chan hi anu lang hi tham ki tham thelo hi pasalin school ka ho ta ai lo lekha ta local mi jong na so pa nui akong apa na akhup chan jong hi ta ki mo to kha thelo ki mo be kha thelo ichin child sexual abuse in hope tho hin tin a serious features ho hi le nu mai chapang kum sam le ke thinglo so ting le ta sang ngai cha no chum chum ma ai lo mun dang ham hai lai phana ga pui ai lo le ga mo koi na ga mo khoi zap ga tor zep ti ho hi in chati le hen chi serious feature false reporting jong min na abale agipi emergency medical care jan sai dab ma mangin tabang to khana no mai chunga khan sin ho tapang chunga khan sin nam le hin alo thelo hai report ki bolding hi in abale emergency medical care in chupala care and protection ai la chi CCI ki tin na child care institute ai lo le gom pe na he no orphanage home ti ho hi ilayong hi am kedin bala child friendly police station GWPS women police station kinain na aban le presumption of guilt amo pa chungang go nang kipin laiding so pa special court chi special court hi CWC kitin na pasala aban le JJB juvenile justice board kitin CWC le child welfare committee aban le chi compensation no mo thina laidu hi chanche tai
ahile he chung changa hi Madam has been command dong kita hitin POCSO case ho hina mi kha in a he na ai lo le kala report a bolo na chita bangot na pi the a chan theyam
he section 21 le 22 hin na section 21 hi non reporting a he ai banga report a bolo hi chi nu ya section 21 na jong hi azat zat no min nai jong le in broad na ku hi ta Solomon in an sai banga na child care protection ho child care institutions ho umin na head by lam na orphanage ho hi chi vela jong chapang umjin chapang ho am ho chunga fully depend hin chi khu misuse jong tam ta na umita na cho velin jong abol pa abol nu hi talawa ai khat atang oza dang hon jong a head ai wanga abol lo le amodi nga jong punishment achumbe ong kin section 21 nu ya na hiti lawa for example ka in sunga au ham ana au pa ham na ai lo le uncle hamin chapang cho susit anu apa na he ai bang asai do lo jinga jong punishment chu mo na section 21 non reporting ai lo le veng sungin jong a he a report lo tila veng sung ho jong chu liable kit hin na hiti te banga chapang ki susit na umai le non reporting le section 21 no ya a punishment umin na azo le section 22 a hin punishment for false complaint pyam tile a punishment very strong very stringent hin na sarba jong sai ta in importance hu pot do na chu chapang ho hi ham thailo na ai lo le rights ok sai thailo ji wa chu su sit na ai lo le lungai ta sangai cha na ki su sit tam maintain na a punishment IPC nu ya chu a procedure jong sawin na it is a POCSO bolwa special court EPP fast track court ho jong hung umin aya chi chapang ho in aki sai thailo je wa chu hit tabang stringent punishment he jong le chi misuse ang tamin na khat le khat in hang le in sa na ki muda mana chu achapang nu chu a misuse ba na hi chi ka in hang pa in ka chanu associate di na thai che tabang false information pi ho jong chu section 22 a misuse to prevent na dinga section 22 punishment for false complaint hin na a misuse adang dang jong umin but a section 9 chi le chi chu hin na section 22 punishment for false complaint je he cheng hin na non reporting and punishment for false complaint
POCSO chungchanga mi khalin amu ahilawale amata in amuna azong report bolang punishment umeti chu hetawin ahile tun sarpa hinga anadong kitaw hitin sarkiti chan hinga hichi POCSO act noya crimes committed ho chunga crime committed kingo ho chunga chu ipizia go na chu hicha chu ho ham ti chu ama ko man dong ki hitin sir why the act is so stringent in punishment of the accused committed crimes under POCSO act.
Thank you, Sarah. I'll explain this. We have also discussed regarding the Madam Hesby has also given what are the procedure laid down. If there is a non-reporting also, it should be punishable. Whether it's a own mother also, if she's trying to hide the case of her daughter has been raped, even she is also punishable under the act, because this is strict nature of the act, because it laid down so that it should be punished. Whoever tried to hide the case or whoever tried to conceal the case about it should be reported. The act itself says reported to the IO of the cases or session judge if the special court is not been, it is written in the act itself. So why it is stringent? Because most of the case in a general kind of rape, or it has to be the identity, and then it cannot be revealed in the procedure while in the investigation also or trial, because the child, even when it has been sexually molested or sexually maybe the sexual assault or sexual kind of penetrative act has been given in this act, the stringent act, it was in the initiation of this act was only for minimum years of 7 years. But due to the development, and then due to the case has been come up and the trial, many development in the act, we found that so many cases are by the near one or dear one, or maybe some neighborhood, the perpetrator who is accused in the act itself is near to the victim, near one or dear one to the victim. So this it should not be a loophole to the cases. That's why there is a very strict cases, and why the punishment has been minimum punishment for the sexual penetrative sexual assault in 2019 was 7 years. Now it is 10 years of now. And whenever the child, when aggravated, whenever the child is under the 12 years of age, then the person should be punished with minimum age of 20 years in jail, which may be extended to the life imprisonment or death. That's the thing. There is a gravity of the case. It will when the special court has given the findings that what are the gravity, what are the facts of the case, taking care of the mitigating nature of the case, he will decide what can be. But minimum is 20 years if that is the aggravated penetrative sexual assault, which can be extended to life imprisonment or death. That is the rarest of the rare case that I just mentioned earlier, that in Punjab and Haryana court just yesterday, Mukesh was convicted and is a death sentence. That will go is kind of example that this is a very strict law. The POCSO Act is enacted by the legislature. Thank you.
Sapang kumling lo chunga khan sit na zia go na sangta ki pithe hi dan ho jong chu in he tawin abana CSA thu isei a hina hilaya hin Sir Solomon mate ading in question khan dong kit lew hen CSA report bol na dinga hina koi in report abol thei ham abale koi ko ma report bol ding ham ti chu hin sei la chung ki pam
CSA child sexual abuse ki hina a report bol thai nahi ai bol thai ding mi hi le ma sa pe nai nu la pa a hi lo le su piu no family ti tawte a hi lo le public servant khat po mi a witness on bol thai na aba na hi child line ho report bol thai aban le doctor or hospital chi doctor hospital ki tine le hospital ayong ko chapang deu ta chi tho hi in na recently hitabang tho hi ho chi gon so bana su khain ho district hospital na icha hi hong ki report khain tin le competent authority in schools ta school ayong chu chapang ki ka ayong le ki yang bol na ki yang dai na ta reging ho ta hitabang me na I chom na me chong ki bol thai je pa le hostels ay la CCI hi warden hon aga bol khaw na aga ikhano thawin ba lain school ayong teacher hong thai na lai ding aban hen social worker or counselor ang I khat pa po thai ding chi CSO ho jong bol thai diu ai lo le ai koi pe bol thai na chapa le concerned adult aban le any child hi aloi apai ai lo le okay ko pi aloi ko lo han tai ding so pha le general public hon na bol thai report hi abana e cha hi to ai sai cheng siu chun report bol thai so pha le report koi ko ma report bol dhan ti hin chi hilal ama sa pe na local police na ai lo le local police yo le special juvenile police unit ki tiong min na SJPU ama koma report bol thai ding athum na ani na hin child welfare committee CWC chairperson ai lo le member khat po kong bol thai athum na hin childline ke ho childline ha na bol thai dio ban hin State Commission for Protection of Child Rights SCPCR ai lo le Manipur Commission for Protection of Child Rights MCPCR na ai lo le National Commission for Protection of Child Rights ichang gup la ho hi report khat po bol thai ai chu ne sai
ki pa lein abana hin hi to ke matin madam has be koma question khan dong kit leu hen to Sir Solomon asain achun anu apa ai lo le anamut ha ai lo avyang sungina report thai heti ta na ela hi cha chun report boarding pen chu athil so zo apa la phat so ta zo register elo report bol thai na lai ham
case reporting to here isay masang win na Sir Solomon yan say tay kuy na report tay hin na chala information khat kan pi inum chu district hospital hin district legal services authority Churchan Purma man legal awareness and bolin medical doctor so to medical staff ho na naki bolin he cha hi chapang numay ahilo le chapang kumhling lo ho hi any kind of abuse. For example, teenage pregnancy na chapang akum hinglawa agay na ahilo le akikhaili na ahilo le mi in ihung min isusi eta ahung kivetsa kha le na Masachu District Hospital ho hin MLC kiti chu medical legal case na anariko nun ehiwanga chun amon akoy den jingwin na kuima ko ma jong ai asai do lo ti du ham mon jong asai na ding an he lo ja chu District Legal Services Authority Churchan Purin awareness and bolin doctors ho nurse ho staff ho zo si an zawin hi chia pat chun District Hospital in hiti tabang na chapang kumhling lo chunga any kind of abuse le na District Police ko mahin in het sa azivin jiting le kaga chiwin na itabang case ham na case register thai ham register thai lo ham ai lo le ipitabang condition ja hi chi kha ham na the family both two parties two parties ka ke hopium only family ai lo ka ke hopi ve na chi pat Sir Solomon jong saying case ong ki register atam tan na ai lo le ong ki het sa atam tai na District Hospital hon jong they're doing their job very well na azole District Legal Services Authority Churchan Purin hete tabang awareness and balls in zong na khanto na khat in Nayvin District Hospital nga pa na case khat hi asu zo zo report i bol du ham ai lo la gei nunga jong i report le case ke register thai ham na ai le chi hi atam zo hi asu zo zo in case ong ki report nin hi jong le tam ta hi na awareness in nei lo ji uwa na pe ham hi chi chapang aga khoi mai na chapang ai lo le azun tha na aga khoi pi mai he bowe na neu chakhat ai la avin i report povin reporting lo jong omin ai lo le hata su sit ho jong chu iti tidem e ho customary lo pule pa chondan iti win na ini ke ho win cha idom movin as ipeham sumthem khat iki win na iki nup tu win iki chai ta ve na a hiwanga hichi customary law chu hichi child sexual abuse adi da sexual abuse heinous crime hi chu na hiti tabanga hi customary law hi ki chai thailo ding he na kichai thailo ding chapang chu ita numei chapang chu hita hi customary law isu thip jing thailo de he na cha chu ta tabang auma kumli kum nga zawang ki report jong le ahung apet pe ahung ki report ho chu adi ham di lo ham ta chapang hoi ta ki dongai le chin apat pe ra case ki register hin na ale kumli kum nga zawang ki report hi ta le chun hi apet pe chun case ki ji poi pem tele false information false allegations ang thading za chu epi ka bolwam district police inquiry ka bol na epiham CWC ho childline ho ka kovin chapang chu amhon achumbe na ke ho piben achumbe statement alawin na azo le local community chapang an chen namuna chu hititabang an su kham na za khawam na ti kadongwin hinge ka jang khaw ka za khaw ve ti au nom khaw ve ai lo le village authority hititabang thutan na nei khawam na ti chu om le chun kisel thai lo hena at least village authority mai lo le pule pa chon dana na ki hote te du hen nai cho ka dong ven at a him na le kumli kum nga kum som zo hi jong le hi chu a hum po do a hi le na inquiry ka bol ma sarwa inquiry a di nai ka tiu le case ki register thai hena ki register dinga he cha chu child sexual abuse adi dia penetrative azo la hab adi dia chapang ki hasu si di ho na cho hi pule pa chon danin ki chai sa daute chapang choi hon pule pa chon da nai ki chai sa ve chini bong noi khata alin hon I he thim ta ve jong le chapang mental abuse hi ta na mentally agro to affect itan ji a chu hiti tabang e hon I su thip thip ule chilanga abol hon cha doming katin ki chai thei he tia na chapang chunga khan si chu khang che din ji a chu he chi hi geil he jong le inquiry ka bol ba inquiry adi na le chun case ki register he kumli kum nga hi zo nung hi jong le chi chu hen
ahile abana chun case register hitai na ahile hi cha hi case io chun itabonga panala ahilo le itabong precaution ala ding hamti cho sarpa kam anadong ki hitin sir ketichan what are the procedure and precautions to be taken by the IO of the case?
Thank you, Sarah. This is a very good question. Anyway, Madam has been also aware regarding the procedures and precaution, and the most of the cases handled by IO also is stricter, and then the formalities it has been fulfilled by the IO of the case regarding the women police or any IO, and then the POCSO, the procedure also aware by the CRPC or the independent court. I think Madam Hasbi is all aware that this can be the answer, that there are not any loopholes in that. But sometimes at the court of the session judge or special court, whenever the sections also saying regarding the recording of the statement under section 24, and in that clause 5, it is written that the police officer shall ensure that the identity of the child is protected from the public media unless otherwise directed by the special court in the interest of the child. That means this has to be the name should be not written as the daughter of or anything. It should be mentioned as Miss X or victim should be done. But in most of the IO understand that there are many paperwork or maybe lots of paper and then it has to be given to the special court. Sometimes the case diary also the other thing. But incidentally on the error or maybe the name may be mentioned, and that is the thing that media should not say that okay her name is mentioned, that it should be concealed, and the media should be very careful regarding that. It should not be published and before any newspaper or any viral media or WhatsApp or whatsoever. So this is the precaution that has to be taken care. And many I'm not saying that the IO is not doing any work or something that there, but in the recent cases also some media has flashed all the name. I don't want to name it, but also came out in the newspaper the name of the victim. So it's very unfortunate for on the part of the where the ignorance of law is there, when the law is categorically stating that it should not be mentioned the name of the victim. There should be taken precaution by any IO while handling the victim's child. And Madam has been also considered regarding the section 27, medical examination of a child is mandatory. Likewise, I am saying that even she explained regarding the medical legal thing that it has to be complied. In such cases that when the matters come up, maybe some casual manner of the IO or something, they just got the letter of the piece of paper letter of the doctor. They'll also examine the house, and then they say okay, the medical there is a sexual cannot be ruled out, or like that. It has something written like that, and it's not valid in the eyes of law. That piece of paper of letterhead writing MBBS, and then that is, it cannot be evidentiary value, and the matter should be struck off, and the benefit of doubt can be given to the accused. So it is very careful. You have to lie down on the mandatory of the section 164A. 164A of the CRPC says that the name, the particular time, particular accused, who has bring the accused, it should be categorically written in that medical legal. And These are the procedure of the thing. And even then also, when the recording of the statement of the child by magistrate, it should be strictly to the local dialect of the victim, not any other spoken. It should be spoken by the child. Some of the magistrate in our this day, even the High Court has given a stricture that magistrates should not writing, hearing the maybe Mar, Paite language or whatever the spoken by the child. It should not be written in the English. It should be written whatever she is saying in their own language only, and it should be write down. And the thing is, certain thing is that is procedure is written spoken by a child, not in English. Sometimes it has been written by the CGM. Then IO should give while writing an application to the 164 for the recording of stuff, it should be mandatory that to write in the language of the spoken by the child, not in English. That should be considered. And when the trial or special court come is examining that it may be somehow maybe some undue influence, so it should not be. We have to struck out the evidence that way. If maybe writing in English, it can be manipulated also. So this has to be taken care by the IO. And the matter is that if we are jumbling with the Indian Penal Code and the Special Court, I would say that this under Section 42A, it says there is no derogatory than other law. So whenever there is a confusion with 376 of the IPC or this POCSO, we should remember that the victim is a child under 18, then it should be POCSO. And when there is a IPC 376, it can be clubbed up when the charge sheeted. We should not make some kind of also some 2-3 accusations are also follow up. It should be a gang, and otherwise there is no common intention kind of Section 34 also. So the IO has to be very careful in the mind that when two or person is there, then it should be a gang. So whenever you cannot say that there is 34Y IPC, the section clearly says is an abatement. So it can we should not confuse with the IPC with this POCSO, and the person should be tried in POCSO, then it should be strictly tried under this act. Thank you, madam.
To sarpan say mabanga chu case IO khat in procedure at CPD dan chu susit a chapang ahilole khoya chapang chu ahina imang pi ding ti ahi in aban le hi cha chu aman azui dinga lom tam taum na lain chu jong le chapang khat chun athu sei chu adi ama apa na athil tu ho asei do pen chu ama pau nge ya record bolding ti ahi in hoti han lang hile chapang thu sei chu zadang pa ahilole English sampyang khon ki ji hen lang hile aki sei wal ahilole aki sei thiglo umding ti na ahi in abana na chal ki taw hitin tun sar solomona ding question khat dong kit leng to sexual abuse iti ho hina a type so itabang bang ham ti chu hin selection ki pa amiti
pa na sexual abuse ti type se chini min na khani contact abuse in khani contact abuse sa ti le penetrative vaginal intercourse na aga kitimat pi tawte aban lehin anal sex omen na bale oral sex omen ahilo le inserting objects into vagina or other private body parts of the child ahi na aban le chapang nu azun thana ahilo le aang ahilo le chapang nu nup sa lo na tabang thil ga khoi na ahi mo na ho khoi ti om kin ban le hunama numai chapang ga koi ahilo le bi ho ga chob je ahilo le ta sa ho ga si jam hi ti contact abuse na aban nan contact abuse a hi e khat tu lai ta porn ho ta te porn video content pornographic content ho ga vet sa ahilo le mi chum ki timat na ho ka mung sa na witness ga sa te ta te khat bang chu lu khom lai ta bang chu piam lu chapang nu chu ga vet sa na nu hunama ai lo le chapang ko ma he piam chi nu mai pasal chi ai lo na za mo thu ga se ai lo za mo thu ga ho ai lo le za mo pa ga ho ti ho vel so he in chi to aga say talking about sexual activity with the child kiti it he tu ningkum ai ho social media ho viral kha in na ai ho media person ma hi amin wa so sai pung katin ama jong khe thau nan tin te ka na banga skula ozonu anga ko khoi bang chu no ozonu ang na khoi chu piti ne gelam ti ho bang chu I chot bang chu a case ki mo tho hi in a case jong jong le ama chun a gela chu he chi to na ta banga la jok sa para la sai kha hu vai la kha ni jong le chi chapang alim jong do chapang pasala hinan na amel jong do a hi wanga sei chu pem POCSO na hup tho hi in aji chu talking about sex and sexual activity with the child na passing comment of sexual nature sending message or image or to hi sexual abuse in home in chapal le numai chapang chitaute ai lo le pasal chapang chi bona child ai hope ja hi nu chapang nu bang chu mi pa ata sa vet sa chitaute ozun tha no vel vet sa lo zun tha no vel khoi sa na hi cho jang hin a hu hi cho chi sexual abuse to think the sexual abuse hi ta injo madam has been a sign tham khat kan supplement nomin na ai ho hi ku ki te custom nei te hi vin e custom ji vin min jong i zaw vin ai jong i custom hi zaw vin ting le house court ta te na o sen pi i zai zaw hin yo hi traditional customary law ta te e customary law hi a phat na yong omin a si na omin hi jong le hi tabang chi case ho bang POCSO hin bang as a child activist na chi pala chi yung ki to na kumizan hot chi ta in traditional customary law bang ka sa kai khat pon na ka support pon de ka dei pa aji jin za sai ma banga no mai chapang khat kum thing lo khat chu mi pa ham khanin ai lo le pasal khana ga su si tai asu si na chu hinge pasal pa chu moi chan salvin hausa upak nga salami sa awin ai lo le chabe sa yom sa awin na ichi yom sa na wa hin anu mai chapang chu ki don ta lo hi chu anu mai chapang thu chu ki sei a hi wa ga i sei pe nu chu hi le wo cha tu hi za hi ding adang ka sang som nga ke poi lak kha ke poi lak ni ke poi za nan pu ding ki ti hin ni za na ichi pi ho chu anu mai chapang nu ai na sa anu mai chapang nu chu mi phale se le hama chang khan hi tan tin hama chang sa hita hama chang hita na traumatized ta trauma am lai ka ai peham anu la pan he sa di boy khuti ta peham na ki sai khala he chu hu bo I focus to asai pe nu chu avo cha to adang ka bo bu yu avo cha to dang ka chu hinge vo cha khali that ta ve mi pin khut khil na khut sai nai te ben na ine ta ve ini cha evin asumi ke pi evin aku til pi cha va ra lak khana chu no mai chapang chu akhin khu izat chan ki sim do dam kumiza chan chi thei dam ai lo la hama chu phadi na ai lo le chi khunung chan ge ya I chana lak khat chu nei khon sim do di nam ti bo hi igi lo chu amwa chu chi ke sahi hausa pa ka de no hi di pon na hausa pa ka de no hi di pon chi na bola pho yong ka ti na hi di pon ne jong lai ho chu I chi na chu legal ta chi hi in legal ta chi hu te tia ka sahi hi in chi legal ta hi chi wa le hin in zo silent feature of chi child sexual abuse kan se na chu zaw tan na legal ta chi wa le hin police ai report dio police a ku na FIR min tin FIR ku na chu na mai nu chu hung ki ke pa he ta chu FIR ki bola ku na chu na mai nu chu protect ki bol ta chu na mai cha ko nu amin jong ki su lo au na yong ki su lo pro conceal ki bol na aban le FIR ani perpetrator ta te accuse pa na kiman loka ma ki ko ya ban le hearing chi na ko na FIR chi ta ai chi ka chu medical check up ki bol ding no mai cha pang nu I chana to kha ham yam ta ai na ong thai lo ding a hi jong le CCI Child Care Institute ta Child Care Institute mun tam pi nei vin chon por na I cho hi ko yam ta ha kho wal be sa lo bu hi le la khat la ni ki ko yin a hi lo le no mai nu consent dung zuin ama anup lenup lo dung zuin ki extend la hin hi chi sung ka jong chun CWC hall apart na CWC Child Welfare Committee hon jong counselor nei vin a counseling jing ke dingu chopal a home a ko ina te jong counselor nei mo jong counseling dim chopal ke ho child line ho jong counselor ke counseling pha simai counseling ki pia a hin khusi ne di hi jong le mila IPT aloi gola chamdi la thai di ham tia hi counseling ki pi hi na ichi ipi na hin te ka enjoy sai ma wang wa chu ai ho chu vo chal to asuma ki chai la jinga pa sa no mai chabang pot ho ta min sai si digiti ji a thakhan ham zo le nu nu le pa te mama icha te su sit noi aji su pi nam til namin moja ka tu sai na ngai lo jana ba jai chan na tu na za chalo ham na zu mo tan ho ki ji nu mai nu alung chapang nu lungel ha para mental effect nei na icho ta bang hi mi pi ko mau hintin ti sine wa bezo si ko mau ka sai nu ka taw pen chui le hi ta bang thil ho hi i khusung i veng sung in sungam le za sa po te i za cha lai si vai thu na lai du hin za cha sa nga agi thu pi thai ding chai line omin elo le hilaya madam has been omin na elo le police omin WPS o omin mo hi panu hiten ita daira nga I ho ngam nu mi zon le ke ho chai line toll free number na 1098 elo le 1098 omin I cha hi kola hi le chai kola a case um du ji se I se hi le ke ho him pung ka khat ka a case intervene ka bol jing do hi en ichi child sexual abuse ki ti hi pata ngai tua hile gim nei ai lo la gim nei hi in agim nei dung zui ta nei ho zo minu mi pa ta khusung veng sui ta na paten ki thu khom si le hen hi tabang thi hi su lo ding hi ti zo pio kam ko ni pa e
a hile ki pam le in tun Sir Solomonian asei cho hile hon dan le mol inei na ve ti jong so aphamo poitin a hi pun hi jong le chapang khat hin khu icharam kha so si da hung na cho ama ban hin khu to asit be na lo dingin to hi chi platform ho na man cha the mo cho mang chaute ti cho hi in a hi le madam abana hi chi to POCSO ACT na hi iti misuse ki bolam ti ho hi mi pi he theding khat ve hin se ki le chung ki pamin ti
Hinge enzo section 22 isay tawe na punishment for false complaint. Khat le khat kinu mo tu zi achu ipiham he chi a law a strict zi a stringent zi achu misuse ki bole na. Ipiham kain lang pa ka su min sit de he na ka chanu na su si e ka chapa na su si e ti la chun false information ji ho chu khat a hitan na. He chilaya kan focus nu ma hi piham eloping case teenage love ai na kan focus num hen epiji hamitile a misuse tam ta na jong le ai hola a society wa face ji wa chu hi one single point hi kan la do nu me na false complaint ti lawa he eloping case adi dia chapang kum thling lo ki ngai ki jam ho he na ale district dang ai lo le state dang a hin ep ti tam tile chapang a ki ngai na ki ngai kum thling lo Child Marriage Act, Prevention of Child Marriage Act in Zong Kumsom Laget, Linglo to Chapang Zinei lo di ko numay Kumsom Laget, Pusal Kumsom nila katito na. Ipizi hamitile medically, legally ahong mature na dinga na. Ay mihing chu ay piham nula pa hong hilatsun a medical condition azong cha nei thading cha vop thading na amata sa tong khalauding azo le le khai zan ham sa an simzo le azia chawa nading tia hina 18 years numaya ding pusala ding 21 akoi hena Indian law in a hiwanga hi chapang akingaya hung ki cheng umzi tai na ale mundangai pi bol tam tele akingayovin kachenu zampin agi pi in na hotin POCSO ACT alu cha te jiven chuchan purawang hi ke honjong a hi thei chana chu child marriage langpa umjong le hi che misuse pa hina them khat ka veze oven iti ki ngai hom ipi ham ne kai khat no me ha June 2021 in Madras High Court Chennai in na punishing teens is in love is not the intent of POCSO ati na a hi banga hi chi hi akingai zo si chu peham akingai zo si chu POCSO ACT punish loading ai lo le tiding zo hikit poi peham tile case to case basis ave ding ate na peham tile mi kum numai kumhling lo ti zong la kumsom la gupai ta akingai hon le chun maturity khat nei kit hon cho na a hiya chu te si kumsom nga khat in chapang kumsom le thumsom le li khat aga bol ka kingai pi he ti chu case to case basis ai judge ngai we na eji khat piham eloping hi zong le eji misuse zong om ja chu kan sai hin azo le hi chi basis a chu piham ka consent omin na consent omin ke te ni ka kingain consent omin kalum khom hon tai ka ki timat hon tai ti cho na ai la ka ki chen hon ti ta ve na evang Child Marriage Prevention Act khalang khat a omin azo le hi chi consent chu adi lo ta zong ni mai hin mai thei chona chapang nu chu khat pa pusal hina chu pusal pa chun agi gi izing ipiam stalking a bola anunga del jing za chu khat nu chun anu ma da anu pi jong hi mai thei chu na e hi chi ho chu case basis veu ten na yes akingai ta ho chu pi chi POCSO case om za chu case ga bol jing khum ding jong tina hi point na misuse chilanga chun misuse daw ten na a hi wanga chu akingai za chu mo ki chen sa thei e lo le mo ki ti mat nai lo le mo khom sa thei ding jong hi di point na chi case to case in basis veu ten a consent to it tabang consent ham na out of fear na out of fear a consent jong hi mai then cha chu eloping cases a hi misuse omen cha chu district police in Churchanpur police in ki bol chu it tabang ki ngayu ham consent it tabang consent ham na POCSO la thei lo ham na ti chu ki vezep hin apusal ding jong ki ve anu mai ding jong ki ve he na nu mai bo se chu victimize phat se a hi lo he na pusal jong chu victim hi thei za chu case akimo register le ania chu ki ngai ta na hi ta le peham pusal pa chu we are what you say pusal pa chu care lo ta nu mai nu bo care ta na it is a chu it is balance to ibol ngai hen na eloping cases ho di teenage love for a consent to ipi consent ham na azo le hi chi through a kan peham appeal ka bol num khat chu hilena tu lai kumling lo chapang ho na peham technology hi misuse ven na pornography hi ho isata pove and sending nude pictures to each other na it's very common sending nude picture to each other or akingayo win teenage love na they're in teenage love they send nude pictures to each other and after some time the boy might make it viral or the girl herself is having multiple partners na mi lila nga to kingayo win lila nga cho thot win na ale pusal hita ta numai hita ta peham kho salawa aloi khat aga tha jong me the na eti umin tin chi khunung le chung viral phat le ka chanu asumin sie na ei sumin sie kiti cho ei wang I khul le apusalina na pat lo jong tam ta umin na ala quick chu pan pi ding hitam ania chu teenage hi chu na ania chu under POCSO chu protection na nei hon chu na ala quick chu pan pi ding hitam cha adi da chi through ka appeal nu maintain please don't send each other nude pictures because digital storage na hon phone I delete wangwa cloud storage ha hitai na min khat maina bola iti khang hi jong le kila do thai he na hon bol thai lo zi thu hen mi tam ta in account no hacked wen na delete sa pictures ho jong min ala do thai he phone na lo le khat Facebook page ha Instagram page ha na chi achu please stop sending each other new pictures. It affects both the boys and the girl, and both are protected under POCSO. So we are in a dilemma who to protect and who is guilty when both are equally going hand in hand. Na hichi acho hichi misuse jong umin hichi through appeal jong kan bol num he.
Law au meti bana ema phat chom na ding ai lawa le khat mit mo na ding ai lo le khat so min sin na dinga dan sa chu ga mo za thei thil jong a hi po in hoita a amaban ipi hung thung thei ham ti ho zo gela ching thei ta a ikiman cha zo ding chu ikidei sa ovin abanin sarpak circuit chan kom adong ki leuhen POCSO Amendment of 2019 in EP Avet ham PS ham ti akikhial na umtina hiin ahele sir what does the amendment of 2019 in POCSO say so?
Thank you, Sarah, for the question. Just now, Madam Hesby has just explained regarding the what are the they have the teenage love, and then it came out in the WhatsApp, and they are sending nude photos and all. For that, I would like to say that in 2019 Act, under the section 14 clause L, whoever uses a child or children for pornographic purposes shall be punished with imprisonment for a term which shall not be less than 5 years, and shall also be liable to fine, and in the event of second subsequent conviction or imprisonment for a term which shall not be less than 7 years, and also be liable to fine. This is the act. Just I'm explaining regarding what we have just discussed now. Even without any your consent is not acceptable under this act. Both the minor, whatever what they have love, whatever they have, the consent is not formed, it is not excusable also, because that consent is not materialized or that consent is not acceptable in the eyes of law. So whenever you are under the age of 18, whatever you do, whatever you are sending SMSs or whatever, WhatsApp or video, nude photos which attracted under the section 14 also, that punishable for 5 years. Just you are doing casually in the manner that you are sending one pic in the WhatsApp to other friend, that is punishable, and that is the law that is very strict under the POCSO. And be careful regarding this. Whenever you are a teenage love, it's a disillusioned love. Whenever the cases come up in the police station or whenever the cases come under the POCSO, they will claim that they are minor and that is not known, and they're out of love and disillusioned love, out of care, and then there is a teenage love. That is not acceptable while the consent has not been discarded in the by the court. So I'll just try to say another one of the section, that the presumption of the culpable mental state. So the court will examine how that love or whatever the disillusion is, that whether they are in the mental state. So the intention, the knowledge. So what does the section 30 says? Presumption of the culpable mental state. In any prosecution for any offence under this act which requires a culpable mental state on the part of the accused, the special court shall presume the existence of such mental state, but it shall be a defence for the accused to prove the fact that he had no such mental state with respect to the act charged as an offence in that prosecution. This clearly says that while your act is done out of love, then the mental statement, the presumption, it has to be proved by the boy, or the boy has to prove that he has no mental capable. So it may be, he may be acquitted, he may be released, that kind of. But as we know that the law is very strict. If the girl is saying no, out of love, maybe disillusioned love, maybe, so the person will be convicted. So this kind of thing is that we should examine the culpable mental state. So if there is the intention is very clear that he had to do that act or to rape the girl, that is not excusable. Then he may be jailed, even the act of the whatever the 2019 is saying. So whatever the before the 2019, it was only 7 years as per the punishment of the section 4 of the penetrative sexual assault. Now it has come to from 7 years, the word 10 years shall be substituted. And I've just earlier also mentioned, whoever commits penetrative sexual assault on a child below 16 years of age be punished with imprisonment for a term which shall not be less than 20 years, but which may extend to imprisonment for life, which shall be the mean imprisonment for the remainder of natural life. That means lifetime he has to confine in the jail, or death. That is the gravity of the case that I've explained it. So this is the beauty of the act, that this even the what we call eloping, whatever we have, the teenage love, the consent does not form a mature thing, and then that should be discarded by the court, and you should be very careful regarding that. And whatever the thing is, even we have to I just explained regarding the section 30 that there should be presumption of the mental state. If the intent is not clear, then he will be confined. Thank you.
Kipa le zingin POCSO ACT chung changa ekholim naw chu nidanga het khalo ai lo le za khalo tam ta za ding ai lo le phat chung pi ding ta sanomin kipa le zingin tunya ekhona wa kuna hitabang zapang ho so sira om na dingwa kuna ven bitna dinga dan le mol kisim phatne phata tam ta ho het be ding ta sanomin e lam kai tu nya hong kal sung ho chunga zong avel ki pa thu sevin sule a chai na la na lu taw le hen madam in mi pi ho hinga advice ai lo he chi tung thu ai na is the cha te ho inau te ho chapang kom hing lo ho hi chu ho ku na hi chu ho tabang atu kha di wa ko na ven do na ding hi hen lang a hi lo wa hi le hi tabang tu kha ma hi le na i tabanga pa na du ham ti ho chu a chai na ke ding advice ti di ham na thumop num na ne a le hin sayo
awareness program amuntina ki bolzing in POCSO to kisaya hin ipi hile kum som leget masanga hin peham kumsom le get hi marriageable age hin numaya ding hin na pusala ding 21 hi zong le 18 in la jing utena ei chapang chu 18 hin kumsom le get masangin zinai ding lunggel dauten na beham ka sai sahitan medically to legally ana immature na deuben azo le echi POCSO Act hi nu te pate in precaution ila adu ka dei chu tu lai technology khang hitan na chapang hon phone na internet adai dei wa vet thai tamin thilsi thilpha bo na hitan na chapang ho hi phone na hin ei sanga ei het lo ei bol thailo tam ta bol ta win ei vet lo en igel jong gel pha lo ho veta win na ji chun chapang ho hi phone a choi ti ngule e itabang ipi avet ham na history ho veze boten na chapang ruma ki khuma phone na ki chim chimai lo la apha e iti ho jong khuna phata in gel phaute ipi anavet ham na kui iti tabang ka sei bangan ipi tabang nude picture aniki thoru ham na adi e chapang hi aphat apha hin ina pa zo pot ngei poi ruma jing iti ho jong hina tu lai hi chapang alang lo zo hi piham technology khanta ji a chu e piha nu le pate in aphai iti ho jong hi thamkhat ivet zep ngayu tai na akhala piham awa le ho jong chu asit na jong tam ta min ei chi ho chu le phat jong kit ta in na wang room sunga ki khuma phone to jing ho jong thamkhat vet zep butin na chapang hin lungai cha na zat piham ke have boy sexual maturity jong here we attain sexual maturity very early these days so I appeal nu te pate koma kan bol nu men na azo le la sa ka sei bang chun please na nude videos nude pictures ho hina bol daute hi it's always in circulation viral gang ta ai hiwin na anung le amin siding a hilo le aza chading a hiwin na mental pressure needing a hiwin na ilekha simlayu jong chu iza chat mana chu school mo drop out thehin na cha chu i khunung career hi sau zo omna la hin teenage love kumsom langa i hiwa i peham ikinga yuwa hi ti thil phalo iki thot iki boluwa ihin khu kumsom gup chen som ge chen hindu le atam zo omna lai hena he chiding zo ve gelu hiten piha pornography hi chinu pictures lang hena thamkhat avoid uten ho chapang ho technology ja dan hi thamkhat ve hiten he chi ke ya pan he chi he appeal henu te adinga
ki paum le in ahile abanin Sir Solomon in nang ma para ko na nang ma ikhara ko na hi mi pi na appeal elo advice ipi na bon mum
pp advice le appeal ti chu ikhat hi kapinom zon na ke ho child line toll free number azwa ka sei ma bang chun 1098 day night free service hi na 24 hour service hi in koi tabang thil su ma tu ni POCSO thu boi ki sei hin to POCSO thu aboi call do hi point child ki ti chu chapang kum som lege nui lama bui na ha sanai yo sin ichi number 109 hi call thei su ke hi te ka na banga anu la pa talo chaga hon zo ichi number call thei yo icha te amang ina ku na za mang ho ichi number call thei yo a hi lo la school a cha te piham tu lai ta corporal punishment hote ta hote a hi lo la chapang za chuma bui na nei ho jong chi 1098 or 109 call thei hin tin jo pha le ke ho hin chu sang pura hin office thum kana yo win na khat hi tui bung oil pump opposite na kon child line chu sang pura office omin ras building rural aid service building hu khat hi in na abana hi action for women and child advancement chi lailam veng hi in khat hi Jacinta Rehoboth chi mun hoi Madam Grace Zamnu ama ikhano amin abana hi hilai share mata khuna chacha Nehru bal baban jongkitin home khun hi chu ke ho office ni lai koi to po chapang buina lampang ne ya ai lo ta bang amza alin police station a chingam hi jong le chi 109 call hen lang a hi lo le hi chalai to address kan sai po chu khat po point hungan lang hung ki report ji wala na kiam phas ma ki thu pi theo he ti chu kan he san mem POCSA bai
ki paumin tunya POCSO Act thua ki holim theu hi chan chu hetan tin tunya hi so anabe zo sin zo na phat chum pi te dingo ta sanomin chule tunya hongkal song lamkai ho jong ama ban na to na wa ahung lol hin lol hin na le ahi lol ana to na ni amo hode bang ahin to do thena ding vin ide sa naw zong ilhanu vin ki paumen ti sine wak segel khom na vezo si chung abiang ki patu kain phong kit in mabana zong society sunga lamchum chuma lol hin na nei ahi lawa hele society sunga he dinga lom hi hen lang thimna chi na langa zong gul chung chun ho zong mabana hi in ki holim pi zom jing ding a hi zin viewers hon thasilo be anabe zom jing ding in zong abialen kahin ti move ka ki pa e